Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we just finished continuing our hold on the Byzantine Empire, and our eyes turn to Italy. We have gotten a fair amount of things here, and we're going to take a look at this. What do we got right now? I'm still kicking myself over not taking the entire the entire duchy over here. That's definitely very, very sad. Now, we have 8 days left on this particular claim, so let's go ahead and tick forward. And the question is, do we want to continue fabricating claims? Or do we want to push this now and start a truce? Well, we've got this small border gore thing going on here, as well as up here, but I'm not as concerned about that, because that's going to be border gore with the Byzantines. But, I mean, it'll still be border gore. But, I don't know. The problem here is we can do this, like, forever. It's going to take only 6 months. Oh, we do have borders there. Yeah, of course that would only take 6 months. Let's go ahead and do exactly that. Now, we are above our vassal limit, and we can create this duchy. We should definitely do so. So that will go de jure to this gentleman, who is the correct religion, and we will grant that out to him. Fantastic. I don't think that actually lowered our vassal number, but that's okay. We have a lot of kings, and in fact, our number of kings is sufficiently high that we are over our vassal limit. Of course, we also need to keep in mind that these vassals down here, like, for example, this guy, or rather, yeah, this guy, doesn't actually, no, this lady, technically, doesn't actually count towards our vassal limit. So we need to keep that in mind. There's all of these kingdoms, and we may have to start creating some double kingdoms at some point soon. Particularly once we inherit the Byzantine Empire, things are going to get pretty nasty. Now, we're currently 41, our husband is 38. That's okay. We're fine with this. I mean, we're going to be very close to the end of the game when we inherit the Byzantine Empire. So, I don't know, maybe we just work on deconstructing the papacy, and then after we're done with that, from there, we can we forced vassalize the Pope? We don't have a CB. Okay. Apparently, we can't forced vassalize the Pope. Good to know. That was just a random wild thought that I had there. Let's go ahead and ransom all of these prisoners if they're going to keep spamming us like that. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, we're going to need to go after Italy here. I do think we get this truce started as soon as possible. So we're just going to allow this claim to finish up, which will be here in a couple more months. We're allowing our soldier count to regenerate. We did take a lot of attrition helping out the Byzantines, and that's to be expected. But we're going to go after Italy here pretty soon, and we'll just go ahead and, at that point, after we have Italy in the fold, which will, I think, be 2 wars. Once we have Italy in the fold, then we will go after the papacy. Although, we need to inherit from the Byzantines before we can do this, I think, because they do hold these 2 counties here, and at some point we do need to actually go after Venice. We don't have a CB on him. Okay, so I think we're going to fabricate a claim on Venice after we're done here, and then once we have this truce going, we'll go after Venice, maybe clear up a little more space up here, but it's fairly irrelevant at this point. I mostly just want to get Italy taken care of. So that will be fine. Things are going to get real nasty once the Byzantine Empire is brought in with regard to our vassal limit. Italy is in a civil war. A Liberty War. What good timing. We're still gonna do this. And it'll be fine. Yes, 22,000 total troops. His capital is up over here, so we will head for that first. We'll raise up our men-at-arms here, as well as somewhere around probably 25,000 levy troops. So off we go. Oh, and I did want to start fabricating a claim on Venice. There we go. Wonderful. So, we're a little slow on our raising over here. This is to be expected. I mean, look at how far away we are from our capital. We're a little ways away. It'll be fine. But inheriting the Byzantine Empire is going to be nasty. I think that's very clear. Very, very clear. So, we have enough levy troops, and they're going to head on out. How long do we have on our men-at-arms? About another 30 days here. Okay, sounds good. Where are these guys going? They're going up to fight their rebels. Okay. We're fine with this. We are absolutely fine with this. Our merc contracts are expiring, and we're going to allow them to expire for now. Wait, is he going down to siege our territory down here? Awkward if true. Regardless, we will win in a siege race. So that's okay. He is actually. You know what? 20 days here. We can fight him right here. And I'm completely okay with that. We'll just finish this siege. He actually sieged a little faster than we did there. Probably because of fort level. We're going to head down over here. And we're going to give him some good old-fashioned battle. Yeah, he's running away. He's too late, though. Fantastic. This is likely to be a stack wipe. Let's see if these guys lock in. They did. That was a stack wipe. This will be a double stack wipe. Fantastic. Double stack wipe. We're going to go siege this back since we're literally right next to it. There we go. And then we're going to come up here and siege their capital. We're at 54% war score at this time. And the question is, how's that Liberty War going? He's at 0%. So we are definitely winning this. That's great. So we're going to take his capital. We would have all of this if I hadn't have misclicked. But I'm dumb. He is going to take that capital, and I'm not okay with that. We're going to come up here and fight him, if we can. If not, we will take back this capital. This is only a Liberty War, so we don't actually care what happens here. I'm just going to come over here and siege in this location. That'll be fine. We're at 83% at this time. Yep, the merc companies are leaving, and that's fine. We're going to head up over here, if this doesn't end it. It did not. This castle should end it. Only a fort level 2. This will go very quick indeed. A little longer than I thought. Actually, it's a fort level 9. So it's a castle level 2. Fort level 9. Yeah. My bad. Okay, there we go. War is over. Enforce demands. We get all of this. This is not going to help in terms of our vassal limit. Our low character is indeed the subject of Greek plays. We'll disband our troops, and we are wildly over our domain limit. So let's go ahead and start handing these out. Excellent. Just whoever's on top here will be fine. And all of these will get handed out like so. We're currently wildly over our domain limit, or rather, we're over our domain limit too. But we're also wildly over our vassal limit, and that will change as well. We'll hand out a bunch of those. But just look at all that we grabbed. That's a lot, no doubt about it. The next war against Italy, we're truced right now. But the next war should, I think, be able to be a forced vassalize. Actually, he still has too many. Not by much, though. Okay, so during this truce, we're going to work on fabricating on all of those. We now have a bunch more border provinces to fabricate on, and that should go nice and quickly. We're going to grant this out to this gentleman, and then this one out to this one. Fantastic. We're just going to continue with this for now. Couple more over this way. We need to hand out just, I think, 4 more. Something along the lines of that. Now, technically, we're at 11 of 12 here. And the question is, do we want to do something about that? Like, for example, revoke this from this person. And so we shall. Excellent. So that'll be great, and we now need to create some titles up here. We can usurp the Duchy of Tuscany, and that is definitely something that we will do. That will go de jure here to this guy. So we'll grant him the Raj of Tuscany. 4 vassals go with. Okay, how are we doing on our vassal limit? We're wildly over it. Yeah, 87 out of 60. That needs to be dealt with, for sure. So, what are we going to do about that? We can negotiate a few alliances, but first, the Duchy of Friuli. He is fighting a war. Okay. Next, we can create the Duchy of Genoa, and so we shall. And actually, we're going to give that to this same guy. And the reason we're going to do that is because we need to consolidate some titles. There we go. Okay, we have the Raj of Piedmont and Ancona as well that we should not hold. So this will be granted to this person. 2 vassals will go with. That's great to see. I don't need to found a university. But the Raj of Ancona will also need to be granted off to this guy. 2 vassals go with. Okay. So how are we doing now? We're down to 82 out of 60. That's 22 too many. Now, there's still this up here. And that's something that will need to be usurped. Indeed. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a kingdom title out of that. Wow, Italy is all one big kingdom title. Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, this is gross. Okay. Can we grant a king another king? No. Okay. It's going to be very interesting. This is a feudal county rank realm up here. We're going to give that to this guy. Not grant titles. We're going to grant vassal over here. Okay. Well, that trims it down a little bit. Anyway. All of these guys over here, they need to get dealt with. The question is, who is the current Duke of Friuli? This guy. He's attacking in the Liberty War. Now, he will win that. He will definitely win that. And that's okay. We're going to finish up fabricating a claim over here, and yes, we're not surprised that this is starting up. We're not surprised at all. We can negotiate alliances. This is our nephew. As is this. And this. And this. And this. Okay. So we'll do all of that. Fantastic. We're not surprised that they're doing this because our total soldier count is dropping dramatically right now. If we look at our number of vassals, we can see we're losing 95% of our vassal levies right now. That actually doesn't go that much further. Fascinating. That doesn't go that much further at all. Huh. I'm just wondering if this is manageable. This is a very tall man. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do... Can we do a sun here? Indeed we can. Fantastic. So that'll solve that problem. Now, this is going to be a big issue when we inherit, right? A huge issue. To the point where we may want to start thinking about doing some title revocation. And consolidation. So, like, consolidating these two kingdoms together, or something like that. Even throwing this one in. 48% chance of acceptance. So, here's the question. We can modify contracts on these guys. We can bump these up, but it's not going to do, like, anything, right? Because we're so far above our vassal limit. So the question is, how do we reduce our vassal limit? Or rather, how do we reduce our number of vassals? The answer is combining titles together, but how do we get there? We don't really have title revocation reasons. Is there a way to search for vassals with title revocation reasons? Let's see here. I guess we could do have hook. So, like, there's this guy. We have a hook on him. This would still be an act of tyranny, though. Now, he would accept that with the hook. Interesting. It's manageable for now, but it definitely won't be once we inherit the Byzantine Empire. There's no doubt about that. And we're going to have to go for a little while after we inherit the Byzantine Empire. Is there something in the renown tree, the dynasty tree? No, not this one. The legacies for increasing the vassal limit. I don't think it would be down this tree. No. No? This one could be, actually. Title creation cost, control growth, powerful vassal opinion, domain limit. Okay. As far as I know, there's no way to increase the vassal limit beyond what it is. And the way you get there... Yeah. The way you get there is by your title rank, right? So, I mean, it's possible that there might be something in one of these focus trees, perhaps in the stewardship tree in administrator. I mean, toe the line would be nice. And then there's administrator here. Yeah, that just gives vassal opinion and such. I don't think there's any way to increase that. So once you start getting to this size, things start getting a little bit more awkward. And we're going to need to hand some of these out. Now, we can see that the Raj of Tuscany here, this is a, what, duchy rank realm? Yeah. So we're going to grant him a few vassals that are in this region, like this guy. And let's see, anybody else? I think that's all we can do for now. Okay. Well, what does that change it by? Nothing. Okay. Good to know. So we're 20 above our vassal limit, and I think we're at the cap of the penalty here. I think. It appears to be capped anyway. We do need to be working on our fabrications over here. But definitely if we're going to plan to get this big early on, we should start doing some double kings. There's no doubt about that. We're going to need to work on... we'll give it to our marshal. We're going to need to work on doing some realm restructuring, and the question is, how can we do that? I would like to find characters that are vassals that can be imprisoned. Like, that we have an imprisonment reason on. Which I don't really see here. Like, we can see that this guy, we have a hook, and he's a powerful vassal. And we could revoke his kingdom. And in fact, that is something that I will do right now. He'll accept that. And yeah, that gains us a stress level, so we're going to have to be cautious with doing this. We're going to go ahead and call a hunt and lose a bunch of stress. Fantastic. And then this guy, I think we're going to grant this kingdom over to this guy. So I want to grant him the Kingdom of Delhi. And everything inside of it. So that would include these Rajas as well. But really, all I want to do is grant him the Kingdom of Delhi. So we'll grant that to this guy, and then we'll do vassal transfer. So there we go. This guy is now a double king. And that should be okay. We can have a few of those, and we need to grant vassals to rightful liege. And we have too many held duchies as well. So we need to hand out these guys as well. So we'll grant that to this guy. So he needs the Rajas here. Like that. There we go. Can we use it for Yuli yet? No, we can't. Okay. So that should have reduced us by 1. And indeed it did. Okay. So that's the thing. Like I said, in the future, if we are planning to grow this large, we'll have to start doing things like that. In future playthroughs, that is. So we're still above our domain limit, and that is a big problem, actually. We need to hand all of these out. And those will then get transferred over. We should not be personally holding these. It's very awkward, but I guess it's okay. So we will grant these on out, and then these vassals will need to be transferred back in. Okay, that is correct. And did they automatically transfer? No, they did not. I'm confused. Why did they not automatically transfer? These titles aren't created. Okay. So now we'll grant those titles into this guy. That's odd that they weren't created. I swear I transferred them into him. 6 vassals will go with. Okay. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. And what did that bring the penalty to? No change. So we're clearly capped on that penalty. That's interesting that it caps at 95. Wonder if there's a way to affect that cap. Not that I know of, but that would be an interesting thing to be able to do as well for these super large empires, is just slowly reduce that cap over time. Now, these factions, they're going to remain being a thing because we are so high up over here. We can found a university. I suppose we'll go ahead and do that. And as far as hosting a feast goes, not a thing for right now. This guy here, we will go ahead and arrange a marriage like so. Fantastic. So we're going to continue to have substantial factionalism until we manage to solve our vassal issue. And I might do some of this restructuring off camera. It's not particularly interesting. It's kind of tedious and something that is going to take a while without anything really happening. We'd just consolidate these kingdoms together, right? So that's something I might do off camera. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.